I'm Dr. James Anthony Morris. I am a board member here at TRAHC, and I'm also part of the TAAC committee, African American committee, that brought this exhibit to Texarkana. I'm a native Memphian, and that's why I had a vested interest in bringing this exhibit from my hometown, from a photographer that I saw the whole time I was growing up, to the city of Texarkana, because I knew it would be exciting. Memphis was a great city to grow up in, and I did not realize that Memphis was still fighting the Civil War until I got older. I knew that there were days that we could go to the zoo, and there were certain parks you didn't go to, but I had no idea what segregation was all about. So this exhibit is part of that because it shows everyday life in Memphis. Mr. Withers just was a nomad, I call it, with his 3 cameras around his neck, ready to take any picture. And I used to speak to him. I would say, "Hey, Mr. Withers," he'd speak back. Everybody knew him. So Mr. Withers, we knew where his photography studio was down on Beale Street. We knew Mr. Withers was the man who took portraits. We knew Mr. Withers took the civil rights events, because we had black newspaper, the Tri-State Defender, which is still there. Mr. Withers was the primary photographer for the Tri-State Defender. Its sister publication in Chicago, the Chicago Defender. So the same pictures went there. But then during the civil rights movement, I didn't learn until later that Mr. Withers was furnishing pictures for Life and Time and to the northern and eastern newspapers, because they wouldn't send their photographers down to these events because they saw what happened to the Freedom Riders, and they saw that in the South, news people, it didn't matter whether you're black or white, were the enemy, because they didn't want anything taken, any pictures taken, anything filmed, all of that. And so Mr. Withers was the man who would take the pictures. He got beaten when he went to the Little Rock 9. He went over there a couple times to watch the integration. Police were really close to him and they turned their back. He went to the Emmett Till funeral. He took pictures down there. He was beaten down in Mississippi. So the only reason I say he wasn't beaten in Memphis because everybody knew who Mr. Withers was. It's everyday life. I said, what you're going to see is everyday life in Memphis. I said, you're going to see kids with fishing poles. You're going to see people in the cotton field. I said, you're going to see people dressed up. I said, and it's black and white. I said, so no, it's not a civil rights exhibit, because I want people to come because the glass is half full and they're not seeing something that they think will make them sad, because there's nothing here other than 1 or 2, but they real, you know. Yeah, people did get beat, but the rest of it is just everyday life. And that's what I want people to see, because I want them to see, as when we gave the tour to the group the other day, when the ladies remarked and they said, "Come here, look, this black family got drapes." And I said, "Yeah, they got money." I said, "Not only are they taking a family portrait, but look over in the corner, they got a TV." And everybody said, "Yeah," but the ladies noticed they had drapes. Men, I noticed they had a TV. So I wanted people to see that everyday life in Memphis, how people dressed, how people walked, and how they just socialized, not just in Beale Street, but in everyday walk of life. Mr. Withers still captured you wouldn't even know that those department stores existed. We got pictures in here where you can see Grant's department store, you can see Baker's shoe store, all of the stuff that were on Main Street. Mr. Withers captured it, and like the Orpheum and the Malco, where they now have the Blues Awards every year that's televised. So that's what I wanted people to see, how everyday life was. Because if we don't communicate with each other, then everything is foreign. And when you don't communicate, then that's when you're going to have differences and conflict. So when people come see this, they go, wow, I didn't think of it like this. Because when you look at the cotton field picture, that wasn't what Mr. Withers was taking. Mr. Withers was taking people who worked hard and played hard and went to church. The bottom line is I think that this exhibit brings to mind to a lot of people, like the group we brought through and the people who came on opening night, people were standing there just amazed, saying, this is positive. This is showing us in a whole different light than what people think of when they think of minorities. They think of us saying, using terms like we want to be given to something like diversity. We got to cut that out. Critical race theory. We can't teach this. We can't. They're always asking for something. They want reparations. No, that's not it. They just asking for fairness. And Mr. Withers was showing fairness. He was showing what can happen to a population that's giving the right kind of training, the right kind of jobs, and they're not going to make any trouble. They're going to thrive in the community and be good citizens. Diversity is good for everyone. If you come and see the exhibit, and we all were wondering why it didn't have nameplates, and when they told us that the photographs stood on their own, and they mean a lot to different people, and now I see why. Because when we were giving a tour the other day, the lady said, I used to pick cotton. I used to pick so fast, I picked $2 a day worth. I'm like, $2 a day? You know, and it made her think of her growing up in Arkansas in the cotton fields, but trying to earn money. And she's not in the cotton field anymore. But the bottom line is that it brought back positive memories. It was a way that she was a teenager earning money. So I want people to come see it, and then I know that they will want to see more. They will either go on and order a book, like some of the people did that night. They told me, I ordered the book. They ordered the book that I didn't order, okay? And they said, and one person said, boy, he was a great man that we knew nothing about. Most people don't know. How do you not know somebody that takes over 1.5 million pictures? And they show up everywhere. They went in Look magazine, they went in Time magazine, they went in Jet, they went in Ebony, they went in Tri-State Defender, Chicago Defender, Amsterdam News. So that's why I want people to come to see this everyday life. And then their curiosity will make them want to go further.